More now with my conversation with Ivanka Trump. I asked Ivanka, what's it like to balance a family? She has 3 children, one is an infant, balance with work and a presidential campaign. Tell me your day. You're a mother, you're a wife, you're a businesswoman, you're in a campaign. What time do you wake up in the morning?
Early.
What's your
getting earlier?
What is it?
So
Tell me.
I have 3 children now, all under the age of 5, and my youngest is 4 months old. So with each child, I think I wake up around 30 minutes earlier. So now I'm at like the 5 o'clock mark, but that's it. there's a line in the sand. But so I wake up at around 5, and I also wake up numerous times beforehand because obviously my 4-month-old is not sleeping from 7 p.m. until that point in time. So I just don't sleep very often anymore, but I try to wake up and get myself fully ready for the day before my kids wake up. So my oldest 2, my 5-year-old and my 2.5-year-old, will normally wake up between 6:30 and 7. So I like to shower, exercise on the days that I do that during the week, read the newspapers, really sort of take that time for myself and be fully ready to roll. So when my kids wake up, I can have really focused, dedicated time with them before I drop them off at school or drop them off at the bus and start my day.
So what time do you walk out the door usually?
It depends. It depends on the time of year. So right now we're in camp season, so it depends when school starts or camp starts. But normally around 7:45, 8 o'clock.
And what time do you walk back in the house usually at night?
So I always make it home for, well, not always, but 95% of the time I make it home for dinner. So I like to be home by 6:30. I have dinner with the kids, I bathe them, I read books to them, and I put them to bed. I try to put them to bed between 7:30 and 8. And then I get back to work.
Back to work, what, phone calls, emails?
Phone calls. So basically my time in the office, because I like to be home in the evenings and because I prioritize sort of the tales of the day with my children, both the morning and the evening, I try to make my time in the office incredibly productive, and I don't do things there that I could do remotely. So it's pretty infrequent that I'll sit down and answer emails. I'll return phone calls which need to be returned during business hours. I take meetings. I walk around the office and interact with people. So I really spend my time in the office having more sort of interpersonal moments, and then I spend my time very late at night responding to emails and dealing with logistics. Obviously having 3 kids, that's the stuff that keeps me up at night. All the logistics of managing their lives as opposed to my own. So.
And you have a brand though too, right?
I do.
So when do you work on your brand?
I think about how I balance my work at the Trump Organization and the company I've built, which is really an amazing business that I'm deeply passionate about. So I think about the balance of those 2 things really based on prioritization and where I need to be in a given moment. So sometimes, when we're finishing up construction of the old post office building, that requires incredible focus and attention. Other times I'll have moments where I'm more focused on my brand and building that business. So I think it's the same as being a parent. You just try to navigate and be where you need to be when you need to be there.
Okay, now let's fold in the campaign. You're working on the I assume that you're part of the campaign as well, right?
Well, I'm a daughter.
Okay,
so
right.
I guess I'm certainly around the campaign. I have no official role within the campaign.
Do you get phone calls from your father?
Well, from my father, of course, yeah.
How many phone calls did you usually get from your father?
Quite a lot. So I call him a lot, he'll call me a lot.
6?
We're in the habit of this because we worked together for 10 years plus at the Trump Organization, and we'd speak. I used to be able to just walk into his office multiple times a day, and now he's traveling so much for the campaign and traveling all over the country. So we end up speaking a lot more telephonically, and we spend a lot of time together on the weekends in New Jersey. So we see each other all the time. We're incredibly close.
If he is elected president, will he be running his company, or will he turn the reins over to his 3 children at that point? Or has that been any discussion of that? Have you thought about that?
He's already said that his whole focus will be this country, and it already is. So he has stepped away from the business at this point in time, and he relies on my brothers and I to continue to manage the business, and he's given us that responsibility, which we're very happy to take up that mantle. So that's why when you asked me about, the campaign, I'm wearing a lot of hats these days, mother to an infant and 2 other children. I have a business of my own and the Trump Organization. So I really do think of my role as daughter, and I'm there to support my father, to be, to help him in any way I can, but not in an official capacity. I don't need a title to do that.